In this video, I came up with an idea to build the Minecraft biomes all underground. My goal was to build 8 individual biomes in a massive hole underground in this hardcore world. This project took me over 50 hours to make. Little did I know how much pain and suffering I was going to go through. So for my sake, please stick to the end. To get started with my project, I had to clear out a massive area underground. So I launched myself into my storage room to gather some of the materials I needed. I then crafted a bunch of TNT and put it all in my shulker box. Next, I had to move the location of my beacon. This will come in very useful later. Okay, brilliant. Got all the stuff. Let's go look for the right spot to start this then. Once I found a place where to start mining down, I began to swing away. Of course, I had to follow Minecraft's #1 rule. Never dig straight down. I got to my desired Y level and started mining out a big room. And here's where the beacon comes in clutch. I had to mine out a 100 by 100 room all the way to bedrock. So doing it without any levels of haste will take ages. And we really don't want to be wasting time, do we? After mining for hours, I started to notice mobs were spawning. So I quickly started placing torches around the place. Hey yo, glow squids? More like no squids. I am a terrible person. That took way longer than I expected. Okay, so now that I had the initial area dug out, the next step is creating these holes for the TNT. I'll explain it all in just a second. Alright, now that's done, I had to go in each hole and mine all the way down to bedrock. After doing so, I then had to place TNT, followed by 2 dirt blocks, followed by TNT, followed by another 2 dirt blocks, and this basically repeats until you reach the top of each hole. TNT, dirt, dirt, TNT, and bang. Oh my goodness, look how many holes I'm gonna have to fill in. Well, might as well get straight on it. Oh, I've just run out of TNT. Okay, let's go to my creeper farm for some gunpowder then. I had to make my way to the nether so that I could use my nether portal highway so that I could get to my creeper farm quicker. Once I was there, I launched myself all the way up and had to AFK on this little platform up here. After around 1 hour of AFKing, I flew down to check how much gunpowder I had. I was very satisfied. I placed down my shulkers and started to store all the gunpowder. After packing it all up, I went straight back into the nether to head back home. I emptied all my gunpowder into these chests and then headed towards the closest desert. I was going to need a lot of sand. Once there, I started mining away. Then I killed this zombie, that skeleton, and that skeleton, and then I started mining again. After filling up my shulker boxes with sand, I realized that my shovel is almost broken. I'm gonna have to repair this. I made my way at home, crafted TNT, crafted some more TNT, and some more TNT, and put it all in my shulker box. To repair my tools, I was gonna need some levels, so I made my way to my Enderman farm. For some reason, my Enderman farm decided to stop working. So I went up to check out what the problem was. I realized that the problem was that there wasn't an Endermite spawned up top. Oh, by the way, you might be asking yourself, why am I wearing Minecraft Curios' skin? Well, long story short, I lost a bet and he made me wear it for a week. So I had to fix that. And there we go, back in business. After repairing all my tools, I made my way straight back down to the layer. I placed down all my shulkers, got the dirt and the TNT, and got back to building. And done. All right, brilliant. That's all of them filled. Each and every single one of these holes have TNT in it. The whole room is about to blow up. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Let's go, 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 go. Oh my god, it's all blowing up. Look at it. That is one massive hole. Jeez. I'm getting kind of low. Let me eat this apple. Oh, my 1 heart. This is insane. No, 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 no. I was so close to dying there. Look at this. This is insane. Hi, so this is the hole I've made. I think I'm going to extend it over there a bit more. But I'm going to turn this whole place into 8 biomes. I'm going to split it up like a pizza. I'm going to have to split the cave into 8 different slices. I'm going to make a pallet out of spruce and stone bricks. I also had to wait for my stone bricks to smelt, which took like 10 minutes, but I had a nice amount of cracked stone bricks at the end of it. After gathering all the things that I needed, I made my way back down to the big pit and started making the layout. I wanted to have a place in the middle and 4 paths coming out of it. So I started using the red wall to mark out the center. Next, I used the green wall to make the outer squares, and voila. Next, I had to start making the paths. As I was making these paths, a creeper decided to jump down and so high. It scared the living hell out of me. Oh my god. I got sick and tired of these mobs coming in and griefing my build, so I started to place torches all around. This didn't stop them, however. Next, I started filling up the paths with stone bricks. I then added these random holes where I put mossy stone bricks and cracked stone bricks in, and I really liked how the pattern was looking. I then realized that I made the central area bigger than I wanted, so I had to shrink it down. After I removed the green wall, I started to place the fencing. Next, I had to start working on the diagonal paths. I added in a few extra details, and then went on the top to see how it looked. Pretty nice. I think you can start to get the idea now. In each and every one of these slices, there's going to be a biome. As I was up here, I noticed that there was this big cave here, and I thought it'd be way better if we covered it up. So I went back to the base and got all my deep slate. It took me a while, but I finally had the big cave covered up. I think it looked way better like this. Now that the cave is covered up, we can start working on our first biome. And that is the plains biome. To get started on the plains biome, I was going to need a lot of materials. After that, I realized I don't have any grass blocks. So I got my silk touch shovel and got to work. After murdering a few mobs and mining some more grass, and then murdering some more mobs, I was finally done collecting the grass. Got the rest of the materials I was going to need for my house, collected my shulkers, and started to make my way to the pit. The biome starts with me building a layer of grass. Next after that, I started to make a stone cliff. I started by making the layout and then continued by making the cliff taller soon after. I placed down some dirt and grass blocks above it to make it look more realistic. Then I started placing in some extra stone on the edges and the bottom, then some slabs and extra details such as andesite, and then the first cliff was finished. However, I wanted it to be taller, so I started to build another cliff on top of the cliff. I know. I'm a genius. I flew up to the top cliff to add some nice details, but I was greeted by 4 creepers. One of them decided to be a griefer creeper and blew up the floor I made. No, bro, did it really just blow up? Oh my god. I was heavily offended. I brutally killed his brothers and sisters and repatched the hole he made. Then I replaced some of the stone with andesite and it started to look even more natural and nice. This was going to be so cool. Next, I bone milled the top layer and placed some leaves around. I then killed this zombie and added in some extra trees. I did this on both cliff sides and it was looking really good. I thought maybe a small little house would look nice, so I built this cozy shack and made it a nice pathway with some lanterns. Added in some final details such as some more leaves and some buttons, and voila, the first biome was complete. After I saw the plains biome, I got excited and could picture how cool it would be with each biome in each slice. It won't build by itself though, so it's time to get started on the next biome. The desert biome. I made my way to the desert on the hunt for some sandstone and sand. The mobs were being super annoying, so of course I had to brutally murder all of them. Hey, that should be enough for now. Let me get some cactus and other bits and bobs. My tools are almost broken again. Let me go repair those. Okay, now that those are repaired, let's go to the pit. I started off by making a bottom layer of dirt so that the sand doesn't just fall straight down. After that, I placed all the sand in and then started making a sandstone cliff. I added another layer of dirt and another layer of sand. And then I got distracted by these bats. Alright, watch me trick shot this guy. Never mind. Next, I had to start working on the second cliff, so I got straight on that. After a few minutes of building, I finished up the second cliff. I then started adding in some extra details to the bottom side of the cliff to make it look more realistic. Then I crafted a bunch of slabs, stairs, walls, everything just to make it look better. I placed these stairs and walls at the bottom side of the cliff and then also placed them at the top, and it started to look really good. After that, I added in some cut sandstone into the cliff to make it look better. I thought maybe a little river would look cool, so I made an infinite water source and started placing all the water all over the place. Next, I added in some sugarcane and cactus, and obviously a desert wouldn't be a desert without some dead bushes. I added in some lanterns on the fences and some more lanterns on fences, and bim bam bosh bash boom, the desert was finally finished. I like this. Looking good, looking good. I didn't want to waste any time, so I got started on the next biome. Next biome of choice I was going to build was the Badlands. This one was going to be kind of similar to the desert, so I started off by getting the sand. After that, I killed a few mobs, filled in my shulkers with all of the sand, and started to mine some terracotta. I was going to need all sorts of colors, so I made sure that I had enough. I filled in my shulkers with the remaining terracotta and started looking for the rest of the details, such as cactus, dead bushes, and sugarcane. I then went home to get the remaining materials I was going to need, headed towards the pit. I'm going to have to do what I did with the desert and make a layer of dirt underneath first. Alright, let's get the sand in next. And there we go. After that, I took all my terracotta and started building the cliffs. Oh, a creeper. Let me kill this guy. Oh, bye. After finishing the top cliff, I flew down and had a look at the pattern. Yo, this looks amazing. I went down to my crafting area and made a bunch of slabs, stairs, walls, and other craftable bits and bobs. Then I started placing the extra details in. I then flew up to the side of the cliff to add in the rest of the details and added a sort of cliffhanger at the very top. Next was the river. Okay, that should be good. Let's add in some decoration next. After placing around a bunch of cactus and dead bushes and adding in all the final details, the Badlands biome was complete. Look how cool all 3 biomes look together. I decided I want to make a massive pillar between the biomes, so I got my dark oak and stone bricks and started building that. Alright, we're finally getting somewhere. Nice, nice, nice. Next biome. The next biome I was going to make was indeed the mushroom biome. I made my way to the base and stacked up on stone. However, I was going to need some mycelium dirt from a mushroom island, so I made my way to the closest one. Once there, I started collecting all the resources I was going to need. I put it all in my shulkers and went back to the pit. Next, I started to make another divider pillar between the mushroom biome and the plains biome. After finishing this up, I started to place down the mycelium dirt as a floor layer. There we go, that's that. Next, of course, was the cliff. I started placing my stone, and then this rude zombie decided to interrupt my building process. He had to be punished. I placed the top floor of mycelium and went down to craft the remaining details. I placed down all the stairs, slabs and walls and made the cliff look more realistic. Then another rude mob decided to be annoying and blew up the side of my cliff. Oh my god. After touching up the cliff, it was time to add in the trees. Not normal trees though, mushroom trees. After growing a fair amount of these trees, I then placed down the fences for lighting. And bam, another biome was complete. That's 4 done, another 4 to go. And these next 4 are going to be really fun to make. The ice biome was next, and I had high hopes for this one. I packed up my stuff and started to make my way to the ice spikes. Once getting there, I placed down my shulkers and held down left click. I then went underwater to get some blue ice and killed this skeleton in style. After that, I murdered a few creepers and started mining out the floor. Then I swam down to pick up all the items and started to make my way to a snowy area. I mined some snow but realized I had silk touch on my shovel, and instead of it giving me snowballs, it was giving me actual snow. And I needed to craft snow blocks, so this wasn't going to work. I went back to square one and punched down a tree to make a wooden shovel. I then got some snow, but I didn't need much because I was going to make a way more efficient way of gathering it. I realized I was going to need a better shovel than a wooden one, so I enchanted this diamond one with Unbreaking 3 and luckily got efficiency with it. After turning my diamond shovel into a netherite shovel, I then built this cage for my worker snowman. I gave him a haircut which magically turned him into a living being and started farming snowballs. I called him Larry. Don't ask me why. Larry suits a snowman. After that, I was ready to start building. I made my way to the pit to get to work. I made a floor of snow and soon after started with the cliff. After finishing up the cliff and patching it in with snow, I then realized this. Oh, okay, I've used all my snow. Back to Larry we go. Alright, that should be enough. Let's get back to work. Okay, this cliff should be done. Let's get some ice in next. Whoa, buddy, chill out. Please do not explode. Okay, good. Let's place some snow in next. Oh, no. Oh, bro, are you kidding me, man? After patching up this rude creeper's mess and placing in some final snow, the biome was looking really nice. I then started mining out the floor because here I was going to make a frozen lake. Then after finishing that up, I placed down some random ice spikes, added some layers of snow. Of course, the fencing was next, and bam, the ice biome was complete. Okay, that's the end. No, not the end of the video. The end biome is next. I went to my base to get some endstone and other materials and went towards the nether to get to my end portal faster. Once in the end, I started searching for the closest end city. Oh, there we go. I found an end flying boat thingy or whatever you call these, but for some reason, there was a chunk rendering issue and half of the build was deleted. I flew over to the main city and started collecting end rods. After collecting all the end rods, I started to search for chorus root. Next was my mission for endstone. I was going to need a lot, so I got to digging. After mining out a massive chunk and filling up my shulkers with endstone, I made my way back to the overworld. I stacked up on a few things I was going to need and launched myself towards the pit. I layered down the first layer of endstone and built up the cliff. Brutally killed a couple mobs and finished up the second cliff as well. I crafted up some walls, stairs, slabs and endstone bricks and got to decorating. Nice. Okay, I like how it's looking. Next, I started filling in the cliffs with endstone bricks and slipped off my bridge. After finishing up all the details on the cliff, I flew up to see how it looked. Brilliant. I then placed down some chorus flowers. Here we do one here, one right here, and some endstone on top of endstone brick walls. I did this on the top side of the cliff as well, and the end biome was also finished. Okay, only 2 biomes left. I actually can't wait to see how it's going to look all together. The next one was going to be a bit more challenging, however, because the next one was the nether. Before I was going to start the nether biome, I had to make the divider pillar between the ice biome and the end biome. Once I finished that, I went to my base to get some soul sand and netherrack. I was also going to need obsidian, so I stacked up on that as well. I made my way to the nether and started flying in search for a crimson forest. Once I found it, I started mining some crimson nelium and other crimson materials. I flew up to get some soul sand and noticed this skeleton and sent him for a little ride. I also noticed this ghast and he was annoying me, so I tried to trickshot him. I failed miserably though, and he burped out a fireball towards me and I sent it straight back to his face. I then found another ghast and managed to kill him midair. I was getting distracted though, so I had to focus up and get the materials. I found a bastion, raided it up just because why not, and soon after went searching for a warped forest. After finding one, I got to digging and got all the materials I was going to need. I filled up my shulkers and went towards the pit. I wanted to make the nether biome split into 2 sections, the crimson section and the warped section. I made the layout split into 2 and it was looking really nice. Next, I started working on the netherrack cliff. I built up the cliff and I was placing the floor of soul sand, and a nasty creeper decided he wanted to make my building process more difficult and blew up. Thanks, mate. After the cliff was finished, I started on the bottom by adding in some gold nuggets, quartz and slabs. It was looking fabulous. I then mixed up the cliff with some extra blocks, and I think the nether was going to be my favorite biome so far. I added in some random pits of lava and thought maybe some magma blocks would look cool. However, sadly I didn't have any. That wasn't going to stop me though. I built a nether portal on one of the paths and made my way into the nether. Okay, let's get some magma blocks. That should be good. After getting all the needed magma blocks, I made my way back to the pit, but got spawned back at my base. How annoying. I flew back to the pit, broke the portal and continued with my build. I then got started on placing in all the magma blocks, and bam, it was looking fancy. I made my way to the top side of the cliff to place in some soul sand dripping off the top. Added in a few extra details to the cliff, and soon after started bone mealing the crimson blocks and adding in the trees. I added in a few crimson vibes and got started on the warp section. I did the same on the right side, added in some trees, vines, and details, and all that was left to do was the fencing. I also thought adding in some bones on the top along with some blue fire would look sick. And wham bam bish bosh, the nether biome was done. This is absolutely amazing. I like this one. I like this one. To start off with the final biome, I went to my base and gathered all the needed materials such as stone, cobblestone, vines, leaves, jungle logs, and other needed items. After that, I collected my shulkers and made my way to the closest forest for some dirt as I ran out. After collecting a bunch, I realized that I needed some steak as I was running low on food, so I went back to the base to get some and headed straight towards the pit. I started off just as I normally do with the floor and continued the biome by making the cliff. The cliff was just going to be made out of stone and dirt, and once finishing that and adding in the top layer of the cliff, I then started patching up the bottom and giving the cliff an edge. Then I crafted all the details and placed those in too. Okay, done. I then added in some mossy cobblestone in certain areas and also placed in some vines. It was looking nice. I did the same to the middle cliff and it was looking very wild. Some leaves around here could look nice. Now let's get some fences in just like that. And maybe some andesite in random areas of the cliff. Brilliant. Trees in next. Let's place leaves all over the place. I needed some more leaves, however, so I flew up, grew a tree, and started shearing from the top. I placed in the final fences and added in the final trees at the very top, and boom, the final biome was finished. I finished it all up by making all the divider pillars, and that's it. The project was finally complete. I thought it looked really nice, and even though this took a while to make, having 8 biomes in a massive pit underground is a pretty cool flex in my opinion. Not gonna lie, the nether was definitely my favorite biome. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for sticking around, and make sure to comment what your favorite biome is. I'm really interested to see which one you guys like the most. Oh, and whilst you're at it, consider leaving a like and subscribing to the channel. And do let me know if you want to see any more videos like this. Oh, wait, I almost forgot. If you guys have any cool build ideas, you can share them with me in my Discord as I'm active there and I read all your messages. It's the first link in the description. Thanks for watching, everyone. Have a brilliant day. No, but for real, please subscribe.